Hey guys, and welcome back to another episode of my podcast, How Did We Get Here? Today I'm talking with Brooke.
Hi.
And she's going to talk a little bit about her career path. To get started, how did you get here? Can you share a quick snapshot of what your life looks like right now?
I work at Glacier Eye Clinic. I'm an ophthalmic technician, and I didn't need school for it. I just did on-the-job training, and they can kind of get you certified, and I was in school before, but I ended up having to leave school, and because I had two jobs at the same time, and it wasn't a good time for school, I guess.
What did you picture life would be like after high school?
I kind of just assumed I would go to college and do like 4 more years of high school or of college.
That's okay.
Okay. Just because my parents always told me that I had to go to college after high school. And then they kind of got more lenient about it and said I didn't have to. But yeah, so I just didn't. I went at first and then decided not to after that.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what led you to choose college in the first place?
Well, my parents always said that I had to go, so I kind of felt a little pressured to go. And then I kind of wanted to go at first because I thought it would help me later on in life. And I don't know, it just kind of felt like the thing to do. But once I went, and then personal life things happened, and then I had two jobs, and I couldn't do it anymore. So I stopped after that first semester.
When you went to college, how did you pick your original major and school?
I was always interested in psychology, so I was gonna go with that. There were a couple other options that I thought about, but psychology was always something that I was most interested in. I was planning on becoming a therapist for children, but yeah, so I kind of went with a different route there. So.
And your school?
What?
How did you pick your school?
It was just a community college. I went there because it was cheaper to go there first. So if I were to go to a state university college, then it would have been cheaper to go to community first and then to the university. So that was my plan at the time. But,
perfect.
yeah.
Okay, when did you start thinking maybe college isn't for me?
Probably around the time that those personal life things started happening, and then I had to get two jobs, and it all started feeling very overwhelming for me. It wasn't really college wasn't for me. It just kind of felt like bad timing. And after I left, there was times that I thought I could go back and maybe do something different, because I was also interested in surgical technicians, and I wanted to kind of do the schooling for that. But when I found out that I could do an ophthalmic technician and not need school and get paid while training, it was kind of just the better option. So yeah.
Okay, so the next thing, what are the biggest factors that pushed you toward leaving?
I couldn't stay at home anymore, and so it was kind of like a financial thing, but also just it was too busy at the time, so I didn't have time for school.
Okay, when you made the decision to leave school, how did your friends and family react?
I don't think they react badly. I feel like most of them were pretty understanding of why I left. Yeah, I guess my friends were just more supportive than anything else. So, yeah.
Okay, so now we'll talk a little bit about what your life was like after leaving school. What did the first few months look like for you?
It consisted of couch surfing and working a lot. I was a preschool teacher or assistant, And while I was doing that during the week, on the weekends, I was working at the hospital as a patient sitter. So there are a lot of hours that I was working um, while not really, while just staying at a friend's house.
After leaving school, how did you feel?
I felt a little uncertain about it, but at the same time, it kind of felt like I had more time. It was less time consuming to have two jobs and school to worry about. So I felt some relief dropping out. But I was a little uncertain just because it kind of felt like something I was always going to do. So kind of changing my plans made it feel a little bit unstable. So yeah.
Mm-hmm. I do get that though,
Yeah.
because like when I graduated early,
Mhm.
only by like a semester, but like my mom was literally like, "Okay, you're gonna go to FECC then." Like my mom was also like,
Yeah.
it wasn't like an expectation, but it was an implied expectation.
Mhm.
I don't know if that makes
So like
sense.
it was just what she wanted you to do.
It wasn't like
And then you
said flat
kind of
out
just-
said like you're gonna go to college. It was
Mhm.
more like, "Okay, I'm gonna sign you up for this,"
Yeah.
and like
More so like you didn't even really have the choice.
Yeah.
Really, but kind of settled.
yeah.
Like, yeah.
How did you figure out your next steps?
It kind of just happened. I don't know. I didn't really like. There wasn't really anything I could do at this point. It wasn't like a planned thing. I kind of just had to go with it in a way. I mean, my friends were really understanding and they let me stay at their house. And then with work, it was just kind of like I'm just gonna go to work every day. So then I can also give them some money for letting me stay, I guess. And then as it went on, I was able to get my own apartment, and I got like a new job as a preschool teacher at somewhere else, and so yeah, I kind of just went with the flow until yeah.
Looking back now, what is the most important thing you've learned or experienced?
I guess that you can't really always plan out life. It doesn't really work that way. I feel like I always had like a lot of anxiety about needing to have a plan and going by that step by step, but it doesn't really work that way. Things happen and you kind of just have to work around life, I guess. So, I think it was important that I figured out that I didn't have to go to school in order to be happy, I guess, and like make money. Like there are other ways that you can go through life. It doesn't need to be that way. So I guess I'm glad that I found an opportunity where I could like train on the job and get paid for it, and I feel like I'm happier that way. So yeah.
Is there anything you would have done differently while in college or transitioning out of college?
I feel like while all this stuff was happening, I probably could have handled it a little better with while being in college because it got so overwhelming to the point that I kind of just stopped doing the schoolwork. So I feel like I would have at least tried a little harder with doing my schoolwork, I guess, and getting things turned in on time because even though I was planning to just drop out, I could have at least talked to my teachers about it maybe and like had more communication with them so that they didn't feel like I was just ignoring their class, and just like wasting their time. I could have been a little bit more open about it.
What piece of advice would you give someone who is considering leaving school but is unsure about it?
I would just, I guess, say to think about what would be in their best interest, I guess. If school just isn't for you and you're like feeling like it's too overwhelming, it's not working out, it's not what you expected, maybe, and it's been like enough time, you've kind of given yourself the chance to do it and it's not working out. I mean, it's not something you have to do. I wouldn't say that college is always the right option for everyone, and there's no shame in not being the person where college is the best choice for you. So, I don't know, I guess just kind of think through it a little bit and like decide what else could you be doing? Is there something else that will make you happier? Kind of talk yourself through it, or ask someone to talk it through with the person, like a friend or a counselor or something like that. But yeah.
Okay, finally, if you could sum up your path in one sentence, what would it be?
I guess even though my plan fell apart, it all ended up working out in the end. So yeah.
Thank you, Brooke, for sharing your story on how you got to where you are today.
Thank you for having me.
And thank you for watching this episode of How Did We Get Here? Tune in next week to hear about Zoe's career path.